Hello and welcome to this video. This is the tutorial for one of my new assets, which is the Colored Gemstones procedural asset. So I'm very happy because I was able to create finally an entire collection of gemstones, and it's not based on images but on nodes. Sorry, I need to turn on the CUDA and not the optics right here. Yep. There we go. Okay, and there's just one exception in the diamond. So this is what we get. This is what you get. This is what we all get. And okay, so I'm selling this asset. People have already started buying these assets. It's one of the best ways to support my channel. And well, it means I won't be showing all the nodes, obviously, because it's not a video about how to make this. It's a video about how to use this for the people that are buying this asset. One of my cats wants to play, I guess, or maybe to eat, but she has food. Okay, so also something I've already said in many videos is that okay, well, first let's just see what we have. We have the diamond. Okay, this is the only exception. This one does have an image for the fake dispersion, but well, I've tried many ways. I also tried, obviously there are supposed dispersion nodes that work, but I've tested them and honestly I don't agree. They just don't work. They don't look this cool. Okay, so this collection is amazing because the flaws in the stones are included, and that's what make the resulting visuals render very interesting and realistic, and even artistically interesting. Okay, something I can explain that is important is that the light path are set at least at 48. This is one of the important elements when you're working with refractive and reflective materials, and obviously gemstones are reflective and refractive, so we need well, some decent bounces to get something interesting. Okay, so we have the diamond with dispersion. The dispersion can be made bigger or smaller, and we have the carbon flaws and some cracks on the inside. Okay, so what I was saying about the fact that, well, I've already also explained in some other videos, some gemstones do need a special geometry to give interesting and realistic optical results other than just nodes. So in this collection we have that geometry, and I'm going to show it because I can show that geometry, there's no problem, because we're going to use it to make this material work in another setting. This is a round diamond, but I'm going to show how it's going to work with another shaped diamond. That's why we're here. This diamond got featured a couple of weeks ago also on Blender Nation. Yes. I made a scene using this same material. There's also a video about the making of this diamond. Yes, there is. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. So, okay, that's the diamond. So you can see that it works from all the angles, obviously. Okay, and so first we're gonna go and have a look. Well, first the scene. This is the scene you get when you buy the asset. The setting is very much like a museum exhibit. Actually, I went to London a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't remember. 2 years ago, I think. 3? Well, never mind. And this is from a memory from the well, one of the museums. I don't even remember the name. I went to so many museums during that trip that well, anyway. But this is an image I really remember, with the lights from the top set on a black or dark background. The only thing I didn't well, made realistically is that the stones are flying. They have no support. Obviously, in the museum, they had some kind of cylinder grabbing the stone with some prongs or some maybe some glue even. But obviously, that is not that wasn't part of the problem. The problem was to recreate the most famous gemstones, and I think this collection is quite unique. So let's keep moving. So the diamond does have geometry on the inside, and yes, it does have one image, which is provided obviously to make the fake dispersion. But believe me, I tried many ways, and still, it's still the best way to get some colored dispersion here and there in the diamond. Okay, but now then the next, so down here actually you have the names obviously, and it says with the metal like a metal plate like in the museum, so with the names of diamond with flaws and inclusions. Then we have the corundum, which is obviously the family of the ruby and sapphire. And I made it work for also colored sapphires, which are some of my favorite gemstones. I really love colored sapphires. So obviously the red sapphire, well, it's not red sapphire, it's called ruby, as you might know and should know if you're following my channel. But then the sapphire and the material I made, well, one yellow sapphire. So this one is totally procedural. So yes, there are just a couple of exceptions because, like I said, to get the best results, sometimes we need geometry, or sometimes we do need, well, the only image is in the diamond. So stop talking about images. This is totally procedural, and it has internal flaws like cracks. It has scratches and also superficial. We can see that in the light here. Bumps, like hits, like dents. the colors really do come from real photos of the stones, so that's why the colors are also very close to the real specimens. And I also made, okay, the thing was not to recreate the perfect, well, the perfect looking gem in the sense of purity, because it's boring. And one of the subscriber made one of the best questions about creating stones with the flaws. Sorry, one of my cats, she's very cute. She's very, very cute. Both are very cute. Come on, wait. Ayoka. She just wants to be cuddled, I guess. Okay, anyway. Well, look at this. Just look at this. I think it speaks for itself. So that's the ruby, and this is totally procedural. Obviously, I am going to go to the notes to show what can be tweaked. Because you can remove some things, and you can change the color, because obviously to make all the colored sapphires you want, you need. But well, I was talking about the fact that it's more interesting to recreate gemstones that are more, well, with flaws. They look more interesting. It's more interesting also to create that in 3D and in Blender. It's very interesting, actually. And well, many jewelers, that's what they have, because not all jewelers have access to the highest graded stones, because they're the most expensive ones, and also they're rare. By example, well, okay, in Mexico, if I want the best stones, I need to buy from, well, people bringing stones from outside of Mexico. Otherwise, I'm going to get these kind of stones with a lot of flaws, and also the color won't be a perfect red. So that's why I wanted to include in this in these gemstone materials the real fact that many sapphires don't have a perfectly straight blue color all over the stone. So we do have some lighter shades, and we do have some purplish shades. They could have been, and we can change that. You can make them lighter or greener also. They're very pretty. Sapphires are more like a greenish hue with the blue. And also because generally stones with flaws are somehow cuter, more interesting than perfect, very, very expensive stones. Very perfect stones are impressive, especially when they're big, but they're also boring. Like I already explained also in some other videos, it's like people. Everybody has flaws. Everybody, we're humans. But when people love you, well, they don't care about your flaws. On the contrary, they really like enjoy your flaws, because your flaws make you unique, make you who you are. But some crazy people, and sadly too many people, are trying to get rid of their flaws, or they're ashamed of their flaws, and generally mostly because of their relationships, because supposedly your significant other is going to tell you, no, you know what, I can't deal with your flaws. So get rid of your flaws, or get rid of me, or I'll get rid of you. Well, these are not very nice people. So actually, well, if somebody tells you that, you should know that's not love. But anyway, it's true in a way also. We all should work on our flaws and be a better person every day. the best version of yourself every day, or at least try. That's what I say. Maybe you won't succeed, but if you're trying, sooner or later you will succeed, and you will be that better person. So stones and people, they're much alike. And people who have lived really or are living an interesting life, generally they are full of flaws, but they're full of very interesting stories, and that makes them very interesting people. So when I look at social media and see those perfect accounts, Instagram accounts especially, or or TikTok accounts, where people dance perfectly, they have perfect muscles, they have perfect pets, they have perfect loved ones. Fake on you, like gemstones. Because you know what? There's the easiest stone to imitate and make a fake one is the perfect stone. And let's go about that. Let's go directly to the last stone, which is one of my favorite, not in the real world, but here, the turquoise. Okay, a perfect turquoise would be turquoise blue, which is a bit more cyan than this one. This one is a bit greenish. It has spirit inclusion and some dirt inclusions, like many turquoise you're gonna get. These are rarely faked. They're faked also because there's a way to make fake turquoise by compressing turquoise dust, which is white, and then it gets painted with fake colors or with plastics. But generally they're going to fake the perfect turquoise, which is totally blue, for one very specific and simple reason: is the most expensive one. And actually Mexico is one of the lands of the turquoise. The Mexican turquoise is very famous, and you can get the very perfect turquoise in Mexico, and they're going to be very expensive. A small one can be $2,000 if it's perfect. It's the AAA grade, and yes, it gets that expensive. Like the other one, which is also a very Mexican stone, the Opal. So this is the light one and the dark one. In this version of colors, I do prefer the dark one. We can see the shining crystals on the inside. So this gemstone does have, well, it has some geometry on the inside, but also the geometry is procedural because it's based on one displacement map. Is it? Okay, so yeah, this one gets, I think, maybe one file for the displacement. But also this is necessary with the Opal, because in real life the Opal is glass, it's Opal glass, and on the inside that glass, gas and liquids molten and mixed in many different ways, and they're microcrystals. So well, in 3D, logically, and I would say even obviously, if you're going to make an intent to recreate an Opal, you need internal crystals, microcrystals. If you don't do that, your nodes will work, but they won't work as well to recreate the optic effect of the Opal. Okay. But these nodes are working very well on the Opal, and we can change. This is the dark one. It's the same. They're the same nodes, just tweaked differently. And this one is lighter, and it's bluish, like whitish bluish. And we do have some colored microcrystals also here and there. But it also worked very well for yellowish, reddish fire Opals, removing the inside crystals and making the outside glass yellow, orange, red. Okay. Anyway, Okay, so the malachite here, malachita. Actually, I don't like that stones because I don't like these greens of shade, these shades of green. But this one is, I'm very proud of this one. Then we have the Lapis Lazuli, which is one of my favorite stone in real life. So we do have some period inclusion, which is it's not gold. It's very rare in the real world to have dots that are really gold. Generally, it's the fake. Well, it's the dumb. Well, in Mexico, it's called the fool's gold. Yeah, sorry. Okay, and also period, which is the same as in the turquoise. I changed the vein. Okay, and this one has some veins of lighter shades of blue, which happens in real life. But we can also tweak that to change if you want a perfectly blue. And as you can see also with the colors, this is like taken from many different pictures to compare the sets of colors and to get the real lapis lazuli look and shine. Okay, there. Then we have, well, pearls. It does have a very slight bump map. There you can see it, to make that also pearled effect. It has some colors, but I made them very light in this scene to get a white pearl. But it works very well also for yellowish pearls, pink pearls, darker pearls, because it also have a, well, set of gradient colors. Sometimes at DJ, okay, obviously some nodes I can I can say because it's there's no secret, but also because then it's the combination of nodes that, well, makes these materials very interesting. But anyway, this one has some colors, and also, well, I made you need to understand that the materials work very well under this light setting because they're tweaked for this scene. So obviously, if we're going to use these materials in another scene with the jewel, obviously I will show that also because, yeah, well, I need to show off a bit sometimes. We'll make a jewel using these materials, I guess. But obviously changing the light might change a lot the way the colors look, and then you need to tweak that for that specific jewel or scene, depending also on the lights, because this scene obviously has one HDR image that is included in the file and has three area lights. That's no secret either. There's a stronger one here, a medium one right there on the lower right side, and on the left side there's a third one, which is a lower light. But also that's what makes the stone shine very well in this specific scene. But obviously, like I already said, you need to tweak the colors and imperfections and sizes depending on the size of the stone. Sometimes, not every time, sometimes. And very surely the colors, because you might not get... Well, the color is correct there for the real world, but depending, if you're using, let's say, a bluish HDR, well, that will affect the colors a lot, but maybe it's your favorite HDR, so then you need to tweak the colors. Okay, the emerald, fully procedural. Where's the emerald? Emerald, here we are. So it has the gardens on the inside, and some imperfections on the inside. On the emerald, I did not put any scratches on the outside, because generally even pretty low quality emeralds are taken care of already at the lapidary. They fill and polish perfectly the emeralds, and generally you're going to get emeralds that are fully polished. It might have some cracks. Well, then you would need to model these cracks on your mesh, on your gemstone mesh. There's no, well, because that's the best option. So don't think this is totally nodes, but sometimes, like I already said, you need well, it does have some bump. Yeah, it does have also some little bumps on the outside. Okay, so the gardens in the emerald. Now the Tourmalina. This one has the tubular flaws and inside transversal yeah, sometimes carbons too, I think, but also mineral. So we get the tubular effect of the tourmaline, which is very characteristical from this mineral, with the nodes. And well, this light here, it's one of the area light reflecting. On the other side, that's, so obviously you can tweak that, but we can see and also the transversal scratches on the inside. So that, and this is a watermelon tourmaline, which is one of the most famous multicolored tourmaline there is. It could be a totally pink tourmaline, or a totally greenish tourmaline, or a Paraiba tourmaline, which is light blue, light blue or very strong sky blue, which is Paraiba blue, in fact, which is a bit greenish also, and they're amazing. But I've put two of the most famous sets, which is yellow and purple, and pink and green, which is the watermelon tourmaline. Then the quartz, amethyst, obviously. So on the quartz, we do have, I'm going to show how to create the quartz in another gemstone. There are three materials mixed, because the quartz does have cracks on the inside, and like I already said, you need those cracks. And what happened with the space key? Come back to the first frame anyway. Okay, and it has two sets of cracks on the inside. So we have two inside materials with some, well, just some faces on the inside using those materials. So you need to create inside faces. But all that has scratches and bumps, and we can see the scratches actually. And I think it worked perfectly for the jewelry usage, but also for maybe if you're making video games or characters that are using maybe some clothing with gemstones. This material is going to be amazing for that. And I've put the citrine quartz. It could be also pink quartz or a totally white quartz. It's going to work the same. And the smoky quartz right there. Okay, the opal, or I will show, and there we have all the agate. This one I like pretty much also. So the agate, which is all the variety of chalcedony, agates, and all that, which is, or sardonyx or onyx. They have a huge range of colors and different type of veins. Luckily, the nodes allow us to change that. Obviously, if your gemstone is very dark on one side and then has other type of veins on the other side, well, these nodes are going to work, but it's going to be hard to tweak because, well, also there's some limitations. But I'm kind of proud this material. Okay, so and also, well, I added just last week the Lapis Lazuli and the Pearl to make the collection really interesting and unique. I've checked. Many people have tried in any software to create such an asset, and believe me, I've checked and I've double checked. This asset is just at another level. Just, I think, well, that's why people are buying it, because it's really unique. And especially, well, actually, the Opal, one of my favorite in this scene is the dark Opal, honestly. I made pretty small crystals, but that can be tweaked also, because maybe some people are going to like maybe sharper. These are a bit rounder. Sometimes they're a bit sharper with some well, clearer, sharper division between the colors also, but the effect is working very well. And also, well, obviously all the gemstones are using the real IOR, the refraction index of the mineral. There's no, the only fake effect, like I already said at the beginning, is the dispersion on the diamond. There are some tricks using nodes. I know them, I've checked them, I reset that one too many times, I guess. But it doesn't work that well. So I'm going to stick to my trick in cycles. Obviously, if we were using LuxCore, in LuxCore we don't have this problem for the diamond. But Cycles has more nodes and is still more powerful for node settings. Even if I really love LuxCore, in some occasion we are going to work with Cycles, because Cycles is super fast. I do a lot of animations. Actually, I am going to use my own. I use my own assets in my productions, in my designs, because that makes things faster. The other asset that there's also a video is the shape, the traditional gemstone shapes with the real also proportions. That is one of the best seller. Obviously also because it's quite unique also for professionals using Blender and Cycles. So anyway, okay, this was like, let's say, how long? Okay, 30 minutes already. Well, finally I am enjoying myself talking about this asset. So let's say now we're going to get inside more technical parts. So let's go to the nodes. Obviously I'm going to show what can be tweaked, but then obviously I'm going to edit out and blur out some things, because I can't obviously show all trade secrets. I think it's understandable, and this is not the goal of this video. In some videos I do show, actually on the diamond, there's an entire video, and there's several on how to model the diamond and how to make actually that material. So I generally do show many tricks or things that are really useful, and I show them for free, okay? But like I already said, making videos is already obviously part of my business now. Let's call it really a business, because yes, I do make money with the assets, with the designs and all of that. The videos are part of the marketing of my creations and all of that, obviously, to stand out, and that's quite understandable. and for a very obvious reason. But let's go to the, well, let's go to the interesting parts. So there are many. Okay, so in Blender anyway we can, okay, so are we mixing? Okay, here, this is a group, so let's open the group. This is the fig dispersion. Let's go to the diamond. I'm going to go in order because this is now really the tutorial about using this asset. Okay, so here we have the image and the brightness. So it's going to go in a glass shader, and that makes the fig dispersion. So if I want to remove it, I'm just going to remove that. Now, obviously I need to remove this, and now I removed the fig dispersions. Some people are going to like that. You can remove easily, very easily, the dispersion. Well, actually I don't even need to unplug that. I just need to plug the standard diamond material there, and the dispersion is gone. Okay, on the diamond we do have on the inside, let's go to this view, or this view even. Okay, if we go on the diamond, we do have the carbon inclusions there, which have their own material, cracks, which also have a material. So two sets. There's because every crack gets double out. That's normal to make actually the crack visible. So there's a crack, and there just another crack just moved a bit. And then we have the carbon points. So also the carbon inclusions, they have scratches on the outside, because generally in the diamond every carbon point has some cracks on the outside of that carbon point inside the diamond. So if you want the diamond totally flawless, you just got to hide the cracks and carbon inclusions. You can hide them from the render or just erase them if you're not going to use them. Okay, so that's about the diamond, if you want to tweak that. Also, the diamond material has here, because this is a flawed diamond, it has a set of colors. It has a bit of bluish, reddish, pinkish, and yellowish hues as a gradient on the diamond, and that's why it looks like that. It really looks like a bad quality diamond, because this is the material for all the diamonds and flawed diamonds and also the perfect diamonds. So obviously if you want the perfect white diamond, just remove the gradient from the material. Okay, that's really easy to do also. Okay, that was about the diamond. Now let's go to the corundums and let's go to the ruby. So we have some groups. Let's go to these guys. So some bumps. Okay, we have a lot of groups. No problem here. Okay, there are the colors. We can go, let's go to the colors, because basically that's what we want to tweak. Okay, something very cool is that I made this is the ruby, so the red corundum has one material. The sapphire material looks very much alike, but it's slightly different. Okay, the settings of the nodes are slightly different on the sapphire. So if you want to make the colored sapphire, generally it's advised to start using the blue sapphire. And here we have the colors, and we can start, we have, yeah, these are the colors here. So let's make a greenish here and there, and here we go. Now we have a greenish sapphire with flaws, and that's nice. So if you want a yellowish hue, you go there, and here we go. You can make it darker or lighter, more saturated here, and you're gonna have a variation on the hues. I think there's even okay, down here there are two sets of colors. If you want to remove, well, to make the hues more even, a bit like this, okay? So there are several colors and nodes working on the colors. You can tweak them all. It's really easy to find them because they're out of the groups, and you can easily change the color of your corundum if you want it white or a lighter blue. Let's make a lighter blue. Go here, purplish. Let's move here, and we're gonna get a lighter blue, which is pretty common also on sapphires. Okay, so I really love this material, and it's really one of my favorite gemstones in real life. Okay, and also the scratches and inclusion imperfections are grouped and connected to the main material. So if you want to remove the flaws, just disconnect the group with the name of the crack. If you see the crack group, just remove that node and you're good. Okay, so now let's go to the emerald. Well, the emerald is okay, we can tweak the color. Also, we have several colors here. Maybe you want it darker here. Okay, you want, and also darker there. And that's why I always made several colors available inside nodes to get those variations on the gemstones. This one is maybe too dark already, obviously, but maybe you're working with a very well, low grade emerald. But also, if you want more contrast, you can change that here, and you're gonna see the flaws with a stronger contrast, and you can tweak that very easily on the stone. Then if you want to change the size of the inclusions, you need to get inside the groups and change the scale of the nodes to get the smaller or bigger inclusions or garden in the emerald. Okay, but that's as easy as changing the colors. Or maybe if you have a lighter green, because some emeralds they have the green, but also they have almost white, something like that, you know. Many emeralds, well, and low grade emeralds don't have such a strong green, which is what makes the higher cost of an emerald, is also the quality of the emerald green you're buying. So you can tweak that very easily here to make it, or if you want a very strong green, because maybe you do have a very greenish green emerald in your hands, you have a nicer emerald, you can change that and make a stronger green, and also maybe mix with the darkest areas and lighter areas. So that's very nice also because you can play with your emerald. If you need to change the size of the garden, then you must go inside the group and just change the scale of the effect inside the groups. Okay. So now the Tourmaline. So the Tourmaline. Wait a second. Okay, here it is. So obviously we're using principle, but the question is, okay. Here, I know it's the floor. Woo. Okay, colors here. That's what I can show. So also, where we need to tweak the colors, I didn't put the nodes inside the groups, so you can tweak them directly from the main set of the materials. So here we have the colors inside that emerald. So obviously here I can play, if let's say I want a purple emerald, pink emerald, and not emerald. What a pink emerald will be a morganite, and that's not a tourmaline. Sorry, we're talking about the tourmaline. So here I want a pink tourmaline. Here we can tweak the colors, and there, this is not a water tourmaline anymore. It's a very nice pink tourmaline. But maybe I have a yellowish tourmaline. So let's change the colors right here. So as you can see, it's very easy to change the colors. And you can see that it's all procedural. There was nothing to change about any image. So that's why also in the diamond, the fact that I do use a specific image for the fake dispersion is not really a problem, because if you want, there's almost nothing to tweak in the diamond. If you just want to remove the dispersion, you just remove the connecting socket using the image and it's gone. Maybe you will need to change the scale of the image to make less or more dispersion. You just go in the group and change how many times the image repeats itself. But I don't think that many people need to do that. Okay, so here we are. So I'm showing how to change the settings on the materials. Okay, so these are the colors for the tourmaline. Now the quartz. So let's go here. There's a bit more to talk about, because here, okay, so as you can see, this is the mesh, and inside the quartz we do have inner flaws. Let's put select, that are on these faces on the inside. Sorry. And these are different colorations also, because there's inner flaws and then there's another internal coloration, because that's why I wanted with the quartz that you get those color variation. Obviously, perfectly, like I already said, if you have a very nice quality amethyst, well, you won't have those cracks, and the purple in your crystal is going to be perfect, okay? But that was not the point. So we do have, like I'm showing now, we do have geometry on the inside. We have these ones and these ones, and obviously the material on the outside, okay, and also on some faces on the inside, okay, to make those cracks inside the mineral. So then I just need to show the color. Where's the color? Where's the color? No, color is not there. Color is here. Okay, here we have the colors. So, which is also gradient. let's say I just want a white quartz. Let's put it white here and white here and white here, and now I have a white quartz. Here we go. Okay, if I want maybe a pink, because yes, we do have pink quartz, which is a very nice quartz. Here we go. Or maybe also greenish quartz. No, not a watermelon quartz, because these don't exist. This is maybe too saturated there. This is still too green. Still too dark. Because actually green quartz is generally quite light green. Something like that. Okay, there you go. This is the greenish quartz. So if you want to put the inside cuts in different places, you're going to have to change the geometry, okay? That's obvious. I showed the inside geometry. Okay, now let's go and have a look at the opal, which is obviously one of my favorite achievements. Let's call it that. Okay, so the opal, the opals. The opal has 3 levels, as you can see here. The outside glass, a middle level glass, and the inside, which are the microcrystals with the displacement. So yes, there is a file making the displacement, so you can remove it or tweak it the way you want. And also the colors. So that's a bluish opal with colored microcrystals on the inside. Okay, it's working quite well, or very well. And here are the colors. So maybe we want to make that darker. So here I'm making the inside crystals darker, and I can yeah, let's keep the saturation there. And this is the outside glass. So here, if I want to make it maybe with less colors or darker, I can start working here on the outside glass, and that's where you tweak these combinations like this, and you can already see how the opal is changing. And this is working because we have the layers and we have the inside microcrystals. Okay, if I hide these, we're just gonna get that. Now if I hide those, we have just the outside glass. So you can play with the different combinations. These are the microcrystals, which have some geometry and specific material. You can tweak the colors there also. Actually, let's go there. Okay. I might remove some saturation here. And also there. Let me see something here. Okay. But let's put the middle level. Okay. So I'm going to keep making this opal darker here. And let's make this one darker. And let's make this one darker. Okay. And let's still make this one darker. There you go. So that's how you get the dark opal. Or if you want a lighter opal, let's make a lighter one. Let's bring these to lighter yellowish hues instead of the bluish I had at the beginning. Maybe it's more yellowish, reddish opal, like this one. And here we go. All right. So now you can see it's totally procedural and it's really easy to tweak the colors. Okay. Maybe a bit more reddish here. That's pretty nice, as you can see. So that's why I'm very proud of this material, because you can get a wide variety of opals because it's based on the real mineral. Okay. Now let's go to the malachite material. Where are you, Scooby-Doo? Here. Okay, so no, not the floor. Okay, colors. Here we have the colors. So basically, here we don't really want to change the colors, but maybe some people are going to need to make that. Well, if you want less visible veins, this is already too greenish. You are going to play with the color set in this gradient and change the colors this way to change your malachite the way you want it. Okay, so that's quite easy to tweak also, and you can move the nodes somewhere there and there to make a total variation. Then well, we do have, okay, here the scale. If we this one is so small that we're not even seeing it from far away. We have less veins here, or we want more. Well, see, this is too much already, but maybe two. We had one at the beginning, so we can tweak here the veins. Okay. This is pretty good. So not much more to say there. Now the agate. This is obviously also easy to tweak. Let's have a okay, the colors. Here we have the colors. So also we have different sets of colors. Here maybe I can add, if I want to remove saturation on these, and here we go, and I can change the color here. Okay, because maybe my agate has a more pinkish or whitish hue, and I can work on that here very easily instead of changing the gradient there. But there's also another gradient here, and I can work on the colors there also the way I need to, depending on the combination I have in my stone. Maybe you have a purple agate, maybe you have a bluer no, sorry, here, let's go at 0, by the way, 0 here. Maybe a stronger blue like this one, and then I can change here. Let's make more saturated here. Maybe let's go a 1 here, and now I have a blue agate. Okay, so that's also so very easy to tweak. Now on the pearl, this is not pearl jam, I'm sorry, this is just pearl. We're not making music today, sorry. Okay, the pearl. So the pearl, not the floor. On the pearl we can change the strength if you want, depending on your scene. you can make the gradient colors stronger or darker also, depending on the type of pearl you have. And you can totally tweak the pearl. Depending on what you need. This is already too strong. Maybe for a golden pearl, this would be a golden pearl, but this is too strong. Maybe there. You can change the hue if you want it maybe more pink, like there. So you can play with the colors very easily with the materials. Okay, also inside the pearl. So like I said, maybe I want a greener pearl or a golden pearl like this one. Maybe here. Nah, this one is too greenish. Let's go maybe 48. Saturation 1. Okay. Or if you want it darker. And not so colored. Okay, so that's about the pearl. Now let's go to the Lapis Lazuli. So here, the colors, where are you? Colors, you're far away. Colors. Okay, here you can remove this and that. And now we don't have the golden mix. Then you can remove that here. And we need to remove... where do I need to remove? Okay, the blue, that's for the blue, but I just want to remove... Where's the black? I think let's bring just, if you don't want any, you just want the blue Lapis Lazuli, you connect this one there. And now we don't have the black effect, or maybe this one directly. Okay, this one with the veins. All right. So just change the connections and you're good. And then if you want to change the colors, here you have the colors. And you can change that here. This one is maybe a mid. Maybe you have some white inside your Lapis Lazuli here. And you can change that. Then the size, the scale should be this one. No, this is just the scale of the, okay, that. Maybe, okay, this is the factor, yeah, here. Maybe here. Okay, here you can play with the veins. This is amazing. So if you have a bigger veins, or lighter veins, you can change the details here. And this works also with agates if you want. There we're getting agates also if we're removing the inclusions and changing the vein sizes and colors. Okay, so that's for the Lapis Lazuli. And we have similar effects on the Turquoise. Here we have the colors. Maybe you want it bluer. But actually we need to tweak it here and there. Okay, here, this is one. Okay, let's go here. If I want to remove the inclusions, now I have a perfect turquoise right there. And yeah, okay, that's pretty good. Because that's about it. There's a slight bump on the turquoise, obviously, and every material has very slight bumps because this is. And that's what I wanted to show about the materials. So now I'm going to make a new file. I won't save this. Okay, so that's the first part. Well, first I talked for 30 minutes about generalities. Now I made the part about tweaking the stones. I was very glad on the results we got. And now we're going to play with the assets on different objects. So I'm going to append, if I can I append? I'm going to append I'm going to append the objects. Can I do that? Or no, let me just go back. Instead of making, I'm going to make, this is a copy of the file. Okay, back to the file. Let's work here. So I'm going to create a sphere. And to see, okay, the sphere is right there. Okay, let's put the sphere somewhere here. And we're going to play with the materials on the sphere. And let's go in normal order. So this is the agate. Because you can use that also for archvies and sculptures. And we can see this is lovely. This is the agate material on the sphere. Let's put it, obviously, for some, like the opal and emeralds, we're gonna need a bit more tweaking. So let's start with the easy ones. Agate, Lapis Lazuli. So you can see it's totally procedural and it's going to work on any type of geometry without any kind of tweaking. Malachite. There you go. Okay, the opals won't work because I need 3 levels, but I'm going to make it, okay, I'm going to make it work, obviously. The emerald should work pretty well. No, not, well, it's pretty good, but the flaws are too big for the sphere, obviously. Let's check another one. The quartz is going to work, but without any inclusion, but with some bumps. It's already pretty good for a quartz sphere. Okay, the turquoise is going to work without any problem. There we go. And okay, the ruby and sapphire should work pretty well because they don't have any underlying geometry. Yeah, the color. Let's try the ruby. It's a bit dark and too much reflective. The ruby is working better in this case. Depends on the geometry. Okay, now let's make the opal work, but to make it work, we have the opal glass. So that's the outside glass. So what I'm going to do is copy this sphere, make it a bit smaller. This one is going to have the dark, I don't know, the second level, which is the opal blues. And then I need an insider with the displacement using the opal microcrystals like that and make it smaller here. Now this one's going to have the microcrystal material and we should have some kind of opal looking sphere. There you go. This is quite amazing. That's why I'm very proud of this asset. And this is like the bluish opal we talked about at the beginning. But as you can see, you can play with all the colors and the inclusions. And I showed like in a couple of seconds and how to make another shape of opal on the sphere. This is the sphere and it's working. It's all working. This is really nice. Okay, if you want to make the diamond, let's make a diamond sphere. You need to copy. Okay, let me just. Okay, I'm going to remove the inside geometry of that. I need to go to the diamond and take the flaws of the diamonds. That's why they're separated here, 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 and there. I'm going to copy that here inside the stone. The fake dispersion is not going to look, I guess, well, I never tried it on a sphere. You must be crazy to make a diamond sphere because it doesn't look very good. It looks very dull. So generally nobody does that. So don't do it. But if you want to render one, it can be fun. Let's hide the ground for a second and let's look at diamond sphere with flows. And sorry, you know what? Maybe let me put the diamond material to the sphere. Where are you, diamond material? Here you are. And let's have a look at what's going to go with the rest is the reflection from the HDR and reflections. So this is diamond sphere. Obviously you can see the fake dispersions and there's a lot of reflections. But if I do, let me just do, let's keep just the inner flaws. Okay, let's make this, separate that so we don't have the other reflections. And this is a diamond sphere with flaws on the inside. It's pretty cool. But this is just to show how to recreate the flaws into another geometry. It's very easy to do also, just copy and move them. If you need more flaws, you just copy them and change the flaws. You copy the carbon points, the scratches inside your geometry, and you're gonna get the diamond material on that. Obviously the fake dispersions don't work amazingly on a sphere. I wouldn't recommend it, like I already said, but this is quite, well, this is one of the exceptions because all the yeah, obviously let's go back to the ruby here, and this is really cool. This is an amazing ruby sphere with the imperfections, and well, I think I made my point. I think I achieved something, finally achieved something unique in Blender with cycles with this asset. Thank you actually for buying it, because that helps me keep on working on assets for well, mainly jewelers, but my assets are going to work. This asset, by example, works very well for character designs or weapon designs. Well, because if you're using obviously gemstones or clothings for your characters and things like that. And anyway, so this is the general tutorial about this asset. I think I covered almost every aspect of the materials that should be changed or tweaked to be used on almost any other geometry. Obviously we can appreciate the very high grade of procedural nodes in these materials. Again, I think the result speaks for itself. So I'm very glad that I finally was able to create all these materials because of who I am, because of the channel, and thanks to you, thanks to the members, and thanks to the followers, and all the good comments. And well, any questions, comments, email, and we're good. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial about this colored gemstone procedural materials asset. You can get it on my Blender Market. If you remember, you get 40% on this asset, which is quite nice because this asset is a bit more expensive. And well, I'm going to go out and finish well, end this video looking at this amazing ruby sphere that we have on the screen. That's really cool. So I really hope you enjoyed, and well, I hope you like the asset and buy it, because if you need it, it's surely the best you can get around. And well, thanks for subscribing and all your nice comments. See you soon.